On some streets in London, residents say prostitution is now out of control.
I'm wearing a mask because I'm scared for my safety. People are being threatened by the pimps and I don't want to be stabbed.
Residents who've been watching this activity for months believe the women are victims of human trafficking.
The pimps, they come with these vans and they unload these girls.
We're going to hear from a woman who's escaped this life about how desperate it is.
The men say, if you don't make money for me, I will kill your family. They burn women with cigarettes or cut their faces.
And we're going to follow the trail back to Romania, where teenagers have been saved from traffickers, and we'll hear about the recruitment techniques they use. We've been invited to a block of flats in Edmonton in North London. Some residents here say they're so scared, the only way they can talk about what's happening is by disguising themselves.
I fear for my safety and quite simply, I don't want to be attacked.
What do you feel like as a resident of this block, which we're not going to identify, having to disguise yourself like this to tell us about what's happening?
I think it's ridiculous.
From a viewpoint close to the block, we're able to film what the residents say is happening on many nights between 9 p.m. and 4 a.m.
They're on every corner of our building. We're talking 20 plus girls, protected and watched by 8 to 9 guys. And the pimps are violent, threatening people who confront the girls. It's made it incredibly dangerous. I want to move out.
This man has been watching closely for months because it happens right outside his flat window.
You don't expect this outside of your door. The pimps, they come with these vans and they unload these girls. It's a closed van, it's not even with windows.
Although official figures suggest Albanians are the most trafficked nationality, he's in no doubt about the language he's hearing most often on the street.
They speak Romanian, kind of really makes you sad when you're like thinking, these people are from my country. My people are getting human trafficked. It's very heartbreaking. It's not right that this is happening in London, definitely.
On some streets and on some nights, there are people who are trying to help these women.
A lot of the women that we meet are Eastern European. We're on the front line because we're on foot and we go to known areas of where the women are. You actually need to come out and actually speak to the women to find out the issues. Where are you from in Romania?
This woman said she'd arrived in the UK 5 months earlier.
I don't think she really understood that she was a victim of trafficking because she was coerced to come over and work in prostitution. The person that she came over to stay with had beaten her up. She couldn't put up with the violence anymore, so she approached us for help.
She was moved to a safe refuge. The charity also helped this woman, who spent a year working as a prostitute on the street in Ilford, East London. She's agreed to tell us her story, provided we protect her identity.
You start at 6 p.m. and finish at 4 in the morning, 7 days a week. I saved £10,000 in cash, but the man I met in Romania who said, "Come with me to London," stole it all. Other girls on the street may be in a worse position. Their men say they love them, so they come here. But when you say you don't want to work as a prostitute, the beatings start. The men say, if you don't stay to make me money, I will kill your mother, your children, your family. In Romania, these men are called the fish because they fish out the women to do this.
We want to find out more about how these men operate. So we're following the trail all the way to Romania to meet another woman who knows their techniques well.
Just mingle with the young girls and after a week tell them I love you. It's normal to fall in love. That's why it's so evil.
Jana has set up a charity which offers teenage girls a way to escape from the traffickers. She offers them a place in a safe house away from their clutches, at a secret address on a hill north of Bucharest.
All the girls have stuffed toys. They didn't have love, they didn't have toys, they had only abuse, emotional, physical, sexually, whatever. They are forced to have 10, 15 clients a day to make the money at the end of the day. If they didn't make the money, there were physical violence involved. If I had a girl buried alive and then they were cleaning the earth from her face, asking, are you going to do this again? And then again cover her. They are looking for these girls and they want to punish them as an example for the others.
This is as much as we can show of the teenagers in this safe house, because they're so threatened and so vulnerable. One is just 13 years old.
She is just a case out of many where a child is groomed.
Once they've learned to live independently, they'll be offered a new life in a new location. But if they hadn't ended up in the safe house, in a few years for some, the destination chosen by their traffickers could have been London.
You take these girls wherever the money are, whether they are over 18 or little less under and they forged papers, end up in London.
And why do they go there?
Because the money are there.
So what are the authorities doing to stop the traffickers?
And we would like you to give you some recommendations in order for you to be able to avoid the traps of the traffickers. They know how to spot and to use your weaknesses.
In Romanian schools, teenagers are being taught not to fall for their tactics.
The public in Romania needs to be educated, needs to be informed about the risks.
But what about London? Well, the Met Police has been getting tough.
This is about letting them know that we don't tolerate their behaviour.
Before dawn, they're targeting 16 addresses in 5 East London boroughs.
Police! Police officers!
I've got sisters, I've got a daughter, and I think anyone would be angry and upset that anybody can exploit women for their own gains in this way. For me, these people, they're the lowest of the low, they really are.
This was a joint operation with Romanian police, and 17 people were arrested and held on suspicion of controlling prostitution and modern slavery. But this may not be an easy battle to win. Back in Edmonton, residents say the police have tried several times to clear the streets outside their block, with little effect. Has it stopped it?
Not at all. What we've noticed is a completely new bunch of girls that we haven't seen before. There's a roaring trade, and it's not the sort of trade we want on our doorstep.
And as we filmed, it continued, as if the police hadn't been here at all. They even tell him where to go, so they can't be seen. The Met says it's committed to finding a long-term solution, but Londoners with scenes like this on their doorstep want action now.